All right, Cam, we're back home after a spell in Texas for the team, and your thoughts on the way things went over the 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, with 1 win, 2 losses there is probably not the ideal outcome. I think we, for the majority of the weekend, played hard and kind of, we can't be disappointed with the way we came out in Texas, especially at the Stars. San Antonio, I think we would have probably wished we would have bring a little bit more from the beginning in the first period, but overall, I think there's some positives you can take from it. Obviously, the results are not there, so you're not content with what happened. But I still think that we did bring some hard-fought games and finally got a win there in the last game.
Yeah, one of the things that's clear about the team is it has a sense of purpose. It seems like the guys are very focused on playing the right way, trying to give themselves a chance to win, no matter the situation, personnel-wise, or who the opponent is. So, what do you like about the way the team has played in these 5 games coming out of the break?
Yeah, I think that for the majority, like I said, other than that 1 period, I think we've tried to really play 60 minutes of hockey, and we've worked hard, and we've, if the goals aren't coming our way and we losing games because of that or stuff like that. But overall, I think that, there's a lot of positives with our group, and we're slowly kind of starting to develop. Hopefully we can go on a run here because that's probably the only way we can get, back into thick of things if we go on a run. But overall, I think that we're still slowly starting to kind of come around here.
It's interesting when a team struggles to score goals as to how they react defensively. Sometimes they can feel the pressure because a goal makes such a difference in the game. Other times a team can respond to the situation. It seems like you've been really stingy defensively in the 5 games coming out of that bit of time off.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, our goalies have been great. That's probably the biggest reason why we've been so good defensively. And then just from, the defense all the way up to the forwards, everybody kind of holds themselves accountable in the D zone. And I think that we know at this point in the season we're not high-scoring offense by any means, so we can't give up much. And I think we've kind of all bought into that.
When you take a look back on Saturday night in Austin, that's a team that had won 7 consecutive games at home, one of the highest scoring teams in the league. And you get the game's first goal, which seems to set you guys off on a pretty good foot, but they get the upper hand at the end of 2 periods. What was the key to coming back for your club and finding a way to stay with it and get a result?
Yeah, I think just staying patient, knowing that we were in the game the whole time, even when they went up by a goal, knowing that we're still in this game, and I thought we played really well so far. So I think that if we stuck with it, we didn't try to take too many chances. I think that the goal would come, and it did, and then we were able to pull out the shootout winner. So I think that's the biggest thing, is not trying to overreact for being down just 1 goal, because at the end of the day it is just 1 goal. I mean, obviously if it's 2 or 3, you kind of have to get a little bit more urgency, but at 1 goal you can still, the game can change with 1 shot. So.
Jimmy only jumped in to help the team for the 2 games in Austin. What are you seeing in this guy now that he's on your side instead of an opponent in the Central Division?
Yeah, I've probably played against him a lot just with Rockford and being here. He's a good, solid defenseman, bringing a little bit more experience to our D-core, which is great. And I think he had a really good contribution to our team and our success over the Texas trip.
So as you get set to come back here to home ice now with 6 games, and you talked about the importance of getting some wins, what's the feeling of the group getting ready for this half dozen here, starting with Laval?
I think just being back home is nice. I think it kind of gives you a little bit extra motivation. Guys are, we're starting to get in more of the thick of the season now, but I think it's still at the same point to stay refreshed, and I think that we're excited as a group in the sense that we know that we can kind of win more games than we have been. So I think that the ceiling's we haven't hit that yet, which is exciting. And just being back home, obviously playing in front of our own fans is great as well.
Talk about the schedule picking up. It means oftentimes that practices either don't happen or they get shortened. How important was it to get a couple of good sessions in here leading into the week?
Yeah, it's good, especially special teams like you were saying. It's good to be on the same page, and then kind of just refreshing yourself with the systems and stuff like that. Because pretty much from here on out, there's not a ton of gaps where you can work on a ton of things. You kind of have to hopefully trust what you did earlier part in the season to kind of translate to the second half.
Before I let you go, just a heavy stretch here, games against Central Division teams, but you get a bit of a change of pace with Laval coming in. So fun to play these teams that you don't see all the time?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you kind of get monotonous with the same teams over and over again. It's nice to see a different team, a different system, different players, stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely always nice to play someone different.